Can Cam Ward drag the Titans to the playoffs this year, win the AFC South, a very up and down and inconsistent division? Can Cam Ward have as good of, not saying replicable, but can Cam Ward have a strong enough of a rookie season to will the Titans to the playoffs?
Not this year. I'm not ruling it out for next year. Not this year, though, because he's not certifiably going to win the AFC South, even with the Titans doing good things. He is not going to be right now better than CJ Stroud, and the Jacksonville Jaguars, who I mock openly and consistently, are still a step ahead of the Tennessee Titans. And I'm just, two morons fighting at the bottom between Tennessee and Indianapolis also. Right. They have inspired no confidence in me, especially at the quarterback position. So right now, no. But the fallout from Cam Ward, his reaction, the way that he has handled himself, and the way that we can look back on the pre-draft clips differently now after this draft, revisionist history-wise, I'm all in. I am all in. I posted a Cam Ward picture to my story after he got the call, my Instagram story. I don't do that. I did find that a little bit random. Like, I'm moved by the kid. Dude, I have become a fan. I am a Cam Ward fan through and through. Was a fan of him at Incarnate Word, Washington State, was pulling for him at Miami. I can root for this kid. That's the most important thing that Tennessee has. You couldn't really root for Will Levis. You wanted to, but at the same time, he did things that were so absurd on a football field, a professional NFL field, that you couldn't fully go all in. Cam Ward, I can do that. Tennessee should be excited. They are still too young and too green to really make that push this season. We've got a real meeting of the minds, by the way, happening in the chat. I'm looking at all these names happening. But I appreciate everyone who's tuning in. We've got two giant goofballs and then Boner Fairy. Those are two good names, two quality names. Happy to have them. Very happy to have Boner Fairy. Two words I don't think I'd ever say in succession, like next to one another. You know what? Do you think you would ever say Boner Fairy next to? No, I've been on ferries and I've never thought. You've never had a boner on a ferry before? I genuinely haven't. Okay, well, I'm glad that you haven't. It's good. To get back to the Titans, though. They're playing in a division where all of these teams are trying to figure out their identities. They all have young quarterbacks. They all are trying to get back on track. The Jaguars are the best challenge to now win the AFC South with Travis Hunter. I think that completely takes them over the top. But I truly do believe that Cam Ward is the type of quarterback that can improvise, that can evade pressure, that can make the late game plays to take their team over the top, just like he did with Miami. I see this Titans team and believe that it's very similar to what he took over at Miami this past year. And I love what they did at receiver in this draft class. Chimere Dike is a decent guy that you're adding into the mix. He's a good athlete, not going to be crazy productive, but bringing in Alec Ayomanor for where they drafted him is tremendous value. He is a great route runner. He's an underrated athlete. He's got pretty reliable hands. And he also, here's the best part about all of this, anyone who remembers old Pac-12 football, the final season. I'm glad. Alec Ayomanor versus Travis Hunter. Yes, and Alec Ayomanor cooked Travis Hunter 2 years ago, the entire game when Stanford played Colorado. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that that's proof that he's going to kick Travis Hunter's ass this upcoming year. Not what I'm saying. But I'm so glad that can now be recreated twice a year. And I'm hoping that this turns into some sort of rivalry and that Alec Ayomanor plays to the hype that I and many other draft analysts have put on him. I do, though, just generally, I think that this team does have some bones to be a scrappy, unexpected playoff team. Just like last year, I predicted that Jayden Daniels was going to take the Commanders to the playoffs. I'm glad you pulled up the Alec Ayomanor. There we go. That is a very sneaky draft pick by Tennessee. Obviously, I'm sure we're doing all their due diligence on Travis Hunter, and you had to, hey, dog ear that one for me. Can we put a pin in this kid that burned him a couple years ago? You think that was intentional? They saw the Travis Hunter pick, and they're like, you know what? All right, bet. We're going to just take the guy who cooked them. I think it was intentional. I think it's smart. I think it's crafty. Why? If I'm playing Jacksonville twice a year, I want the only kid that's ever really had an edge on Travis Hunter on my team. I would like that. That is a rudimentary way to go about drafting, but at the same time, base level, smart. I really appreciated this. The Titans will have ceiling for me, 6 wins this year.
Okay, so after all that conversation we just had, you just completely crapped all over.
We have to be realistic.
6, come on.
Every year there's teams that have to end up with 6 wins, and that's not harsh either. That's not harsh.
No,
6?
you're being way. I'm not coming here saying that they're the Commanders and they have like 12 wins. I'm not saying that. I think that they could be a 9-win football team and sneak their way in. And I think the AFC South is going to be a crapshoot again.
It will be, but the AFC is still thick. It's still a thick conference. There's going to be a lot of teams. The AFC West is going to have 3 candidates. This is minutia, especially for August, but you're not going to have 2 representatives from the AFC South, and I don't think they beat out the Texans this year, even though the Texans have threw everything out this offseason.